Mr. Humble Hippie, back on the Murder Mountain series. I wanted to go over the fact that totally terrified. And I just want to say that I'm sure, honestly, I was just probably on near hallucinations most of the time. And, when you're in the woods, you get, it's easy for shadows and just fearful things. And if you have any kind of, you ever saw a horror movie or any kind of thing, all that sort of stuff gets enhanced a lot. And then when you have somebody telling you horror stories that maybe you don't know, and then you start thinking maybe it's really, really, really dangerous. And then maybe you start thinking that maybe the safest thing to do is to actually stay where the danger is all night long in the cabin in the woods on Murder Mountain, where this person with the machete who comforts me, telling me that the Mansons are gone and that now, the people are throwing stuff has been being thrown at him walking on the trail at night. And his uncle's the Sasquatch founder out here. And so at about 3:30 in the morning, I found the power of light and turned Jerry on to fire on the mountain and took my dog and ran down the hill with the power of the light. And we made it. I decided ultimately that I was more afraid of the hill people than I was of the mountain lions, which I happen to know the mountain lions are real and they're out here and there's a lot of them and they're huge. And they can easily pick me up and carry me away. For the record, a mountain lion can pick you up and carry you away. But also what's true is that there's people out here that don't want anybody to really know they're out here. That kind of like from the movie Deliverance. And real true hill people. And we're in the wild, wild west of the Del Norte, Siskiyou, Modoc, Oregon border wilderness. And I was told about Rock Ridge, Rock Creek, and the old communes that are from up and down here. And I just decided that between the Mansons coming back, the Manson followers, his niece, Dada, and the hill people, and my host, my wonderful host, the very, very kind person whom I gave lots and lots of supplies to. Now you remember me stating on the way up how important it was to have survival tools. Well, what I left was the camera. I brought plenty of batteries. I left my flashlights And so what ended up happening was is I ran into people up at the top of these mountains. I walked through barbed wire and all sorts of dangerous events, and then pretty much begged that person to walk me back to a redwood trail or a main trail where I could try and find my way down the mountain. And then that person walked me down the trail, or me and that person together walked in the total darkness down to my car, where I at that point was so graceful and thankful, and nothing bad had happened to me on the property, and that I found the EPP, Earth People's Park, that I actually commune, that I actually gave him an endless amount of supplies that I have, from lots of different rope. I have 50 yard, many different spools of 50-yard rope. I gave him emergency solar. I gave him solar lamp lights. I gave him a lot of good stuff. Let me see, Band-Aids and tape, good tape, and baling wire, and let me see, toothbrush, razor. Let me see, 2 gallons of water. A lot of stuff. But I had to run down the mountain here at like 3:30, 4:30 in the morning, because the stories are terrifying, and it could still happen to me here in the car, but I'm actually sitting in my car, and I just had to overcome fear because I'm a man. I just have these, not to be sexist, but when I was a little kid, I just felt that I was always scared of things, and so I crawled, down a drain pipe on a dare, and and I used to crawl around, and jump off bridges, same thing on a dare. I just feel like to overcome things, just can't be scared of horror stories. So I knew the mountain lions were real, but I know the people out in the hills are real too. And between all the people and bad stuff that was on that property, I just felt like if I got off the property, the only thing I'd have to deal with was the mountain lions. And that was actually only one bad thing. And I figured the hill people would probably let me keep running, and the Sasquatch would probably let me keep running because they know I'm running downhill. God, what else did he talk about? There were so many different murders and stuff that he talked about. I think I've got a lot of them on record. He was saying that a lot of different bodies and people, and he had bullets that he showed me, and he was talking about 38 killing people, and he had a whole thing of bullets up there, and he said those are the 38 bullets that killed the people, and that his friend had the gun, and then they buried it, and his friend didn't tell him where the gun is, and his friend disappeared tonight. His friend disappeared tonight. When I met this person, he was with a group of people. They all walked by me. Everybody denied the EPP. They had no idea. I talked to a person. It was very nice. We chatted for a while at the very front of right by my car, right when I first left. There was someone at the beginning of the trail, and I talked to him. He said he's from Arizona. I told him I was looking for the EPP land. He said nothing. When I made it to the land and I found the caretaker said that he was with the whole party of people. I passed a whole party of people. That whole party of people then walked down to the bottom of the property, and I yelled at the group of people, "Tell your friend to remember Earth People's Park."